Hello viewers and welcome back to Men of War Assault Squad 2. I'm your host PP once again, and recently I've been able to find a few more multiplayer games for this. So we're checking out a 2v2 battle again. This will be a pretty weird battle, seeing as we're playing as the US and we'll be going up against the Soviet Union. So the game has started. I'm playing as the US, and our opponents will be the Soviet Union, as I sort of said. It will be a 2v2 on Coldstream again, so we're looking at quite a lot of this urban battle action. And with that sort of said, I mean, the game really just begins, and our troops are gonna stream forward by the masses, I suppose. So, the gates are open, our guys are moving. This map is very heavily centered again on this middle village, which is just filled with urban buildings, and all of these buildings, of course, have interiors, making it quite a vast and open map that's really great for infantry combat. Unfortunately, there still seem to be some problems with frame rate and all. It's an issue. I'm not necessarily sure if it's you know, all that big of an issue, mainly because it might be caused by me recording as well. So again, we want to try to occupy a few of these power buildings. Here. I always seem to start on this side of the map, so what we want to go for here is that I want to grab the school building is one thing, and with the school building I can get our guys to actually occupy all of these little windows here. So we want to try to do that, and we really just want to try to contest this area against the Russians, which appear to be making a little charge. In addition to that, I'm going to try to nab the middle of the map here too. They're going to try to push some pressure on us over here, and that is fine. All we want to do is we see that nade coming around here, so we want to get our guys to bail out. And all we really want to do is just try to maintain pressure on the enemy as best as we can, contest these points, and ultimately occupy them. So this little group of buildings I find is really rather useful on this map, simply because it has MGs, or window ports, that you can use to typically suppress your enemies to a fair degree, and I want to try to get my MG set up like that. Yeah, my opponent here is also fairly good with those grenades, and they're going to try to clear me out of this church building. So that is one thing that they're going to try to do. That's fine though, because we're going to try to occupy that area as well. And these shotgunners should have gotten up here ages ago, really. We're going to move them forward, I suppose. Yeah, those Russian rifles, they have that capacity to really just shoot down people practically instantaneously. So they're very useful in that regards. Now I want our guys to just sort of sweep and take down that guy. Fortunately, that is not happening, which is rather unfortunate. I'm going to see whether or not I can sort of make any plays inside this area. He wants to contest my point, and that's fine. I want to try to push up through this area, so that is one thing that we want to do. I'm going to buy some of these shotgunners, because recently I'm told that they're fairly effective as a unit just in general, so I'll try to move them up here, try to get them to pop off a few shots at these Russian dudes. Move them up here, get them to fire. Come on. Yeah, because they have great room clearing capabilities, evidently, and we just want them to really clear out this area. And whatever we can't do, we can just make them run off, heal themselves, and they can really just sustain themselves in a fight for a very long period of time just by sort of doing that. What did we lose over here? The machine gunner seems to have run out of the building over there. So that's fine. We can get that cleared out too. So we try to get a nade thrown over here. Get one grenade like that. That'll clear them out. And with these shotgunners, I really just want to protect this point. You'll see here that the game's dynamic fire spread is happening a little bit. So that's going to burn up this area. And luckily nothing was hit by the grenade, so that is good. Everybody is safe, though they are capping the middle point, and this team is it's significantly better than the vast majority of the teams I've been playing with. So that is one tidbit. But then again, the Russian faction is a very, very strong faction inside the game so far. They occupy this little church area. It looks like my ally here is making a push for their side point. So that is one thing to just sort of note. What I think I'll do here is that I'll buy a tank, and I'll really try to work our way up here on the central point with my vehicles and all. With this church building, I can pretty much protect it with a few troops, assuming that they don't bring any vehicles around here. Mostly due to the fact that we have a few shotguns here and there, and these shotguns are pretty lethal at taking down infantry at range, at a close range. So, now for this map, I mean, in the past we've already seen that infantry combat doesn't necessarily work particularly well. It's kind of wonky, mainly in the area of just trying to clear those guys out. So with that said, he's gonna try to come around the flanks here, which I suppose is the smart thing to do. But we have a machine gun set up here and some other stuff, so that'll be quite interesting to see how that develops. Over here, so our infantry has arrived. We're gonna try to get these guys set up. I want to get this this Browning machine gun set up in a good location so that it can offer a good round of fire at the enemy. Now this game, it's starting to go down into micromanaging units more and more, so we want to just pop a grenade up there. A lot of people will try to cook these off, which isn't necessarily the wrong thing to do. Oh, our guys are going to cap this point, that's good. We want to switch back here, zoom back real fast. But the problem with micromanaging your units is that you can only focus it at one location inside the game, and it creates a few problems here and there. So, our guys are contesting this point. It looks like our opponents here have brought a little armored car up. So we're going to send our Stuart tank over there to try to clear out that area. And in the meantime, I mean, I'll try to lock down this area a little bit more. Looks like we're sweeping through these trenches too, so this is very, very good, and we're starting to press forward here. These shotgunner units are starting to become very, very strong. They're in a sense the MG of the short range almost. They're very, very powerful units, and quite honestly, perhaps they should be worth a good 55 points rather than the 40 points. Actually, just due to the fact of how strong they are. Over here, what I want to do is that I want to take out that armored car, and I'm actually going to see if I can shoot right through this this wooden building to do it. My frame rate is a good solid 20. I'm pretty sure that's just the game being fairly slow. Looks like we hit the very edge of the truck there. Yes, sir. Yeah, it looks like that truck blocked our APCR shot. Otherwise, that should have gone through and should have gone into the enemy's little car over there, actually. Looks like he's bringing over a T-34, so I'm going to try to cover my tank with that building, and you'll see that that building really absorbs these shots fairly well. And I hope that that'll give me some time to adjust here to take out that Steward, this light little BTR vehicle of sorts. Yeah, again, that some of these props inside the game seem to have an absurdly large strength in relation to what they really are. Because in reality, I mean, for the vast majority of the vehicles, at least nowadays, you're actually able to shoot through them with a Browning machine gun too. Not actually sure what sort of ammunition those thick Browning guns use, but as you'd imagine, I mean, it's not exactly heavy per se. There we go, so that'll take out that little armored car. And in the meantime, we'll have to deal with that T-34 that the enemy has bought. So, those T-34s are very, very potent vehicles when attacking them from corners like that, because in an earlier video I talked about this. Those tanks are notorious for their strength, because from those corner angles, what it does is that it slopes the armor even more than what you would typically get. And with that said, it makes them really rather difficult to penetrate. over here, I can't really do much. All I'm really going to do is just watch the turret of that tank, see where it goes, and try to track it. Maybe then I can come from the rear, or from the side, or just generally anywhere else to try to take it on. But currently, in this situation, it's pointing its corner right at me. I can't necessarily do all too much, except for maybe just try to see whether or not this building is a wooden building. It appears like it is. Can't really tell with the low-res texture, but if it is a wooden building, I should be able to flatten it just like that, and it'll just crush the infantry inside it, which will help us out on this point over here. So, yeah, that is sort of that. It looks like my opponent, or my ally, will sort of surge his guys forward. He's going to try to take my guys out, but some of these stone buildings are very, very tough going up against those armor-piercing rounds. So as long as we stay behind here, we should be safe. And so far, it would seem as though he's actually taking pressure off of my point over here. In this situation, I mean, I'm having trouble micromanaging my vehicle, keeping sure it's safe, and keeping track of where my enemy's troops are in relation to my ally and myself. So in these situations, perhaps it would be better not to just sort of put pressure like that. Maybe it would be just better to go forward, really. He's going to track me. That's going to be a problem because that AA vehicle will actually be able to damage my tank here. Want to try to take it out like that, but unfortunately that was not able to put any rounds into it. That's a heavy flak vehicle, and it's actually able to do some damage to these Stuart tanks. These Stuart tanks are decently potent at... Yep, fire, come on. These Stuart tanks are decently potent at dealing with, say the light German 20mm flak guns, but against these Russian vehicles, it's not as potent. I just want to take out that CSU. My tank is probably going to go down because the Russians now have a clear shot at me. It looks like my little Stuart Tanks' frontal MG is actually doing a great job at clearing that location. That T-34 isn't appearing to fire at me just yet, so what I can do here is that I can use the little hole that the T-34 shots have made, and again using the concussive rounds of the concussive capabilities of this HE cannon, I might be able to pick off a few other guys inside that church, just because. So I'll fire off 2 rounds in there. It's probably not going to do much, and he's going to take that vehicle out, but I say, oh well, seeing as how that has kept us inside the game for a very, very long time, and it has served its purpose for the most part. So that T-34 is quite hidden back there. We're going to need at least like a Wolverine. The Hellcat might be able to go through it, but I'd say that it's a little unlikely. With that sort of said and sort of just put in motion, what I can do right now is that I'm going to get my, or try to get my my little tank repaired. In the meantime, I'm going to try to keep my positions just sort of intact. And well, I could actually buy a bazooka and try to take that thing out from maybe the side or something, perhaps. But I honestly don't think it'd be worth the time in risking it. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm really just going to try to delay. They want this middle point bad, evidently. And again, these grenades, I mean, you can use them for their direct effect, but I find that the main thing about them is that they just make enemy infantry run is one thing that they do very, very well, and they do it very, very potently. So, let's see. See, the problem here is that that tank is in a very good location. This person has positioned this vehicle very, very nicely. The only places in which we can really get a shot off of it, it has turret. Its turret can take a look at and can fire back. And you could call that hold down, if you will. And it's a fairly effective move. Over here, they've bought a light T-70 tank, and this thing will mess up infantry. And so in general, it seems to be a good infantry support tank so far. Not really sure what my ally here will do. Perhaps they would try to do some sort of little move here and there. I would actually try to use maybe this little panel here to get a shot through, or maybe just get your tank, let the T-34 fire, drive your tank through this wall, and then take a shot directly into its hull. Is perhaps one thing that you could do, but that would be a very, very, very risky move. Now, over here the situation seems to be alright. I'm gonna buy an infantryman and just station him here, really. What I think I'll do is that I can buy some US infantry, and I'll see whether or not these guys come with bazookas. Because if they come with bazookas, I might actually be able to get them to drop off a round or two. They're making a push over here, so yeah, I suppose I'll buy these troops. And I'll really just try to hold that sector of the map, our sector of the map over here. We have an MG, so we should be able to control this area decently well. And in the event that they put pressure onto us, I can get these guys to come over here with the shotgun and open fire from the back.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so my infantry are going to arrive. I'm going to get them to go onto the ground, which will protect them for the most part, and it will then sort of start the battle, really.
Hey, boys. Keep moving. Got it, sir. Yes, sir. Go. Got it, sir. Yes, sir. Enemy is ahead.
So there we go, we have effectively the map has apparently ended. I think I'll see you guys next time then, where we take a look at some more Men of War Assault Squad 2.